Hello and welcome towards this video guide of Silent Hill The Short Message and its speedrun. Today is currently the 2nd of February 2024 at 7:28 AM. I know it's super early in the UK at the moment, but this is going to be a very well detailed guide of how to enact the speedrun. Not too much about the lore, but just like, you know, all the kind of like methodology and actions of what you get to do. Currently, the moderators for this board is Punchy and Board of Speedruns. Thank you very much to both of you for moderating. They recently have approved my my personal best run of a 28 minutes and 23 second speedrun, which I brought down from about 31 minutes XX down to 28, which is fantastic. I didn't even think we could get to a sub 30, but it has been achievable, not just by myself, but with help of the community members, most notably another speedrunner by the name of Vintage Valiant, who got to do some strat finding for the final chase segment of this game, and some other kind of like better like routing bits that I was able to incorporate into my initial findings, which so kind of like a backlog of understanding. So I didn't know that a Vintage Valiant was going to be doing some routing for that chase segment, and I had done my, I'd done my own findings of that, and we kind of like merged the two in towards each other to basically make the best possible form of the final chase. Now, with the final chase as well, there is some sort of like some dubiousness about the very final section towards getting the 5th photo, that it can be a very 50-50 split for its RNG. If the what I like to call them the CB lady, which is the cherry blossom, the tall I don't know, a pyramid head, whatever, is going to come at you. So when we get to that point, I'll show you what would be the best route to take for, you know, the fastest time if luck is on your side, and the most optimal for complete safety. If you want to call it a backup, we can do it a backup, but I would say it's the best kind of like method to go through it. Right, aside from that as well, what's the game basically? What kind of style is it? We'll put it down towards like a horror walking simulator, which has a lot of kind of like a detailing and like illustration of like mental health and like mental health situations, and, you know, like friendships, jealousy, like PTSD, potentially like a dissociative identity disorder. There's quite a lot of topics that this game does touch. So again, if there's any point during this even this video guide that you may not be comfortable with, please make sure that you do talk to somebody, either somebody close or a friend or family, or if you can please talk to a medical professional, your local hospital or like your local GP, or to consult with someone like Samaritans or one of the other helplines, which even the game itself will issue to you as well. So if you do see anything within the game that may be uncomfortable, either take yourself away or talk to somebody, because talking is the best step to move forward. Right, so aside from that, you don't really have much in the options. You just basically got volume options and your camera controls if you want inverted or non-inverted. I'd say keep on the subtitles. It is helpful towards knowing the next kind of prompts to be able to skip, or when you're going to be signed to move. Controls, I'll just go over this a little bit quickly. I'm still not too confident on the turnaround sections, which is on the L1 and the R1. I have a feeling they might be just for your view rather than your actual movement. Haven't really played around with it too much, because when I tried to mess around with it in one speedrun, I died because of it. So I just didn't like it, so I never bothered with it. Anyway, to start the speedrun, let me go over to exactly the timing of it. When you press new game, that is where the timer is. Or alternatively, if you're like me at the moment as well, where you have a continue, you go to chapter select, and then you start at the point of chapter 1. If you don't have like a new game and you only have a chapter select, you'll be able to start immediately once you press chapter 1. However, if you do have a continue, that means you kind of have like a save somewhere in the game. When you press X, you'll be presented with start game from the selected chapter. As soon as you press that is when time will start. So I'll be able to like call it out in a second, and then you will know exactly the timing, the start of time. Once you go into it as well, you'll be skipping like immediately once you get through the helpline, like the in between screen, like the, I will say like the loading screen bit, but as soon as you press X, continue and X on that, you're going to be immediately holding circle to skip all the cutscenes. And whilst you're in the point of like after skipping those cutscenes there, the phone will normally come back up to, well, the phone will come up to you and you start a dialogue with it's either Maya or Amelie. You can move in that little interim to get towards either the closest door or stuff like that as well. I will say, do it anyway, can't hurt, but you are going to be waiting for your own dialogue to finish before you can actually go through the door. You'll see what I mean. So, let's start the video guide, let's start the run. I'll try to be as informative about the run, not too much about the lore. Let's get through it. So, time will start in 3, 2, 1, go. So here we go, we got the little message here. We're just going to spam through X, hold circle. When you see that little color change, walk towards the door. Well, okay, maybe that one you can't walk towards the door, but in the second chapter you can. Once the dialogue is done, you're going to press X on the door, and you've got 3 things you're going to be looking at here. One is this little thing.
This model. Is it this building?
Click X on here, then circle. So you want to be, when you get towards these little items here, 1 second. You're going to press X and circle immediately, because it only really cares if you've read it rather than looking at all of the information on it. So again, just X circle as quickly as you can. You're going to be going into this room here. So as you saw there, kind of like, I wasn't able to get towards the prompt as quickly. You really have to be looking at the prompt to be able to get, like, you know, the action of it. So if I was coming up towards it again, you can see that I was able to actually get the activation because I was looking at it and it pulled me towards it. That's when you know that you've roughly, like, you properly got it. Once you've got through this door, you're going to be heading towards the wall art here, painted by the loveliest CB.
Did Maya do this? CB. Cherry blossom.
Now, after this, we've got a cutscene that's going to be happening, so make sure that you're going to be holding circle now. Then you're going to be holding left, like back, left, and turning around to try to get out of here as quickly as you can. Once you're done going through this little way here, you're going to hit a little baby giggle. Then you're going to be opening the door and heading towards the right. You're then going to be prompted with yet another phone conversation. Now, here's my little like pro move in order to how to get through this quickly. What you got to do is you got to press X and circle. And that way the X will be advancing through the dialogue and the circle will be the closing of it.
That's a relief.
Now, I will pause it here quickly because some people might be asking, wait, how did you get like the actual, like the controller sounds into this run? Because when I tried to record a run, I can only get, like, you know, just the game audio without all the bleeps and the bloops and the like the TV static and stuff like that. What I do personally is I have remote play playing in the background because it's basically taking in the functionality of the microphone and the speaker of the DS5 controller, and it brings it through remote play into your recording software. So, as another FYI, what I do is I mute my my application audio for PS Remote Play. By the way, this sidebar here is the application Ear Trumpet. I would always recommend people to get that. It's a very good software. It's free on the Windows Store, so just get it. It can't hurt. Otherwise, you'll be getting like a doubling of your OBS audio, as you can see here. Ignore all my sources here. I've got my desktop audio, which is taking in directly what my PC is hearing. So you don't want like doubling audio of maybe your HDMI feed coming from the capture card, or like you can do it one way for 2 ways of capturing, which is either the HDMI capture from, say, your capture card. I've got a 4K 60 Pro Elgato, or you can just capture completely from remote play. Both of them usually have great latency, so do what is most comfortable for you. Thank you for the version there, so that you can, so you know how I've been able to capture that controller audio, so that way, you know, the viewers of your speedrun are not missing out on the full experience of what you are experiencing through the run. Right, so we just came through this door here. Once you've done the little phone conversation, we press X and circle repeatedly for it. We're going through. And once we get into this little room here, it's going to bring us into a little cutscene and it'll fade to black. Once it fades to black, then we're going to hold circle to skip through it. When we get our functionality, like our movement and our action back, we're going to kind of try to look right and down and then X immediately, because there's a document that's literally just over there, where, like, in the center of my screen, if that makes sense. Right, let's do it. Hold circle. Look down next. There we go. So that's how quickly you can get that little document there. Once you've done that, head towards the little bedroom here, turn to the right, click on the pills, then head backwards. You can do a very nice quick turn there. This door for the bathroom will open up. Click X on the razor, then circle immediately afterwards. 180 turn. Get to the door, press X on it as quickly as you can. Then you go on another phone conversation as you're making your way back through the way you came. So here we go. X and circle. Should be a very short conversation here as well. So you can hear me in the background just like spamming my X and circle. It's just easy, honestly. Now I'm going to do sort of like a strafe, like up and right, to get through this little archway. Here we go. Nice. Like a very sort of like smooth entryway. And again, making your way back towards the first chase segment of this game. And the best way you can check is you see these little glitches. That is your indication that the chase segment is going to happen. Now, for the very first one, it's going to not give you your movement straight away. It's going to give you sort of like the presentation of the CB lady, the cherry blossom lady. And then you're going to get scared and it's going to start moving you 180 degrees and walking a little bit. Hold forwards in this whole segment so that you'll be walking forwards and running immediately afterwards. And then you can just follow the directions that I'll be going through. I'll call it out as we do this segment here. Let's go. So we press X, holding forwards. And you start running now. So start turning your camera to the right, and we're taking another right. Heading all the way down, strafing a little bit to the left. Then we're taking a right. Through the door. All the way down. Taking a left. And there you go. That is your first chase segment done. Once we come out of this little animation here, start meandering over to the left towards where the next wall art is. So I'm going to hold left and start turning my camera a little bit towards the left as well. Because again, as I mentioned, during that little bit where you can hear the phone go ba-dip, ba-dip, you can move. Okay, then heading through into this bit, press X on here as quickly as you can. Then as soon as you press X, you can hold circle immediately afterwards. Hold backwards after this little phone conversation. So just hold down from this point onwards, spam X and circle, turn around, and then make your way back out through the main door that we went through. And from here, we're going to be going left. Skipping this bit on the right. Sure, it looks inviting and open. Don't need to worry about it. Just keep on going this way. We're taking a right through this section here. We'll be coming into this little moment here. So remember, during chapter 1, you just need to go right here.
Creepy.
Then we're going to be taking a left here. Basically, this little section here is just kind of like, it's pulling us towards CB's room. You're going to be getting a phone conversation here, so once again, you're going to be spamming X and circle. However, during this little section here, after the dialogue, after the phone conversation here, we're going to be getting, I believe it's going to be a spoken dialogue, and then after the spoken dialogue, that's when you hold the skip button. So I will kind of like speed up the VOD from this point here so that you can get to the point where the phone conversation will end. Okay. Now you can see here you got the spoken dialogue. It's only one line. Then you can hold the skip button there. After the cutscene, you can hold forwards immediately. Then we're going to be taking a right through to CB's room. Now from this point onwards, all we need to do is get towards the art book as quickly as you can. Press X on it, and just before we do this, I'm going to give you a little bit of a pro strat. Well, I'll say a pro strat, but this is the fastest way that you can get through the book. What I've noticed is if you alternate between the right D-pad and the X button, sort of like going right X, right X, right X, that will get through the pages better during the later parts of the run, in which you'll be looking through the more pages of the art book. During this one here, it can help, but it's more beneficial later. So we're going to examine right X, right X.
Are these Maya's sketches? These aren't even finished. And they look this good.
Because as you can tell right now, you know, we're commenting on every single page, so it's definitely one of those cases that is not too beneficial here. So you get one more conversation of your phone here. Press X and circle quickly and get ready to skip, I think, after this little black fade. Yes, holding backwards and then turning your camera around so that you can look at the falling garment there. Skipping as soon as it fades to black, then you can hold forwards coming out of it. So what I'll do is, I think, no. What I was going to do is I was going to try to replay that whole bit so you can see how quickly you can do it. But just know that, like, once you come out of looking this, now I'll just kind of like run through it one more time so you can see this. When you're turning around, make sure you're looking at this. If you're not looking at this and you get closer to it, it won't fall. So you want to be like turning around with your camera. Oh, sorry, one more time. Turning around with your camera up like this, and then you're looking at it. Then you get the ability to press X on it quicker. Then once you press X on it, you'll be placed here. So just hold forwards to get towards the next chase segment. Right, now that we've gone through here, once we go out through this door, we're going to be taking an immediate left. And then we're going to be doing a bit like the first kind of like indication of you dodging around the CB lady. So I'll try to do this a few times so that we can actually, you can understand exactly the best kind of movement for this. So let's go. Taking a left. Taking a right through here. Then I think we're taking a sharp left afterwards. Yep, sharp left. Taking a right, like strafing right a little bit, strafing right again, all the way down. Now, I'm going to tell you right here now, go right here immediately, go left here immediately. Keep on going around in a circle. And then you're going to go through this door here. And then you'll go up the stairs. Right. I'm going to pause here and we're going to go back to the bit so I can explain why I did that. And it's kind of important because the specific way that I went and dodged around that little sort of like that circle section, I found that to be the safest way to kind of like draw the CB lady more towards you and be able to get towards the door quicker. If you kind of like go towards the left whilst the CB lady's coming through, there's still that little pause of when you have to kind of like turn yourself around, and you know, it's kind of like the, I like to call it like the turning around buffer, if that makes sense. So doing this means that you're still in that constantly forward speed, and it's I mean, I haven't timed it fully, but I think it's faster. So I mean, people can like can fact check me on that if it's faster for you to do a different method. Honestly, let me know. I'd love to incorporate it, and we'd love to bring this time down even more. So if you do find any strategies or anything that is potentially faster than this video guide, jump into the SH Speedrun Discord or DM me on Twitter, or like I'm on twitch.tv/Nikoheart. Yes, I know, cheeky plug, I know. Or just, you know, DM me somewhere, I'll be about. Anyway, so let's do this again, and I'll kind of show you what I mean from what I mentioned earlier about going from the left-hand side. We'll do this a few times just so all of you lot are comfortable who are wanting to learn the speedrun. So again, strafing right, going all the way down. Now, you'll know you're getting ready towards the dodging sections like after this long corridor here. So, see if I was going towards this bit here. You can see CB ladies coming through. And then we have to do that turning around a little bit to then get through, because they are right behind you. Now, again, this could be faster, this might not be faster, but I found that if I just run around in a circle, as I showed you before, it's still kind of like you know, like you're still at a point where like the CB lady is still like only just coming out of the door. So I personally think it's faster, but again, maybe it's slow by 1 second. If you want to time it, please do. All right. So with my method, let's show it off without a hitch. Okay. Strafing right. Oh wow, that's new. Did I go too fast? Maybe, but that can happen. Sometimes the RNG of CB Lady can be, I don't know, temperamental, because sometimes they do reflect against like how fast you're going or like what kind of positionings you're going. Sometimes it's almost good to take a small buffer just before you do any kind of like major turnings and stuff like that as well, because you want the CB Lady to kind of be like kind of closely following you. So again, at your own speed, at your own avail, just make sure that they aren't going to be like intersecting and they can kind of like cross over like you just saw there. So let's do it one more time. To be fair, that's the first time that's ever happened to me there. So yeah, so in a video guide, you've got it. That's never happened before. It's happened. All right, here we go. So I'm going to move a little bit out towards the sides. Turning here, and there we go. That's how we go. Then we're heading right, up the stairs. Right, so gonna pause it just here super quickly so I could talk to you about splitting points. There are 3 chapters in this game, as you saw from the very intro of this video. Splitting time for you is deterministic. Well, say for the chapter 1, chapter 2 is deterministic for how you want to do it. Me personally, what I do is I split for chapter 1 and 2 after I have skipped the next cutscene that you'll see. What you would do for the ending split is as soon as you go up the stairs and you start to see that black transition, that is technically the split point. It's the triggering of the going into the next cutscene, if that makes sense. So that's transitional opacity fade. So again, you can determine how you want to do it for your own speedrun. Just make sure when it comes to chapter 3, that is the official rule set for the final split. Okay, so again, I'll show you how I split. Going up the stairs now, technically you split there. You go into the next cutscene. I'm going to be holding circle now, and I'll split now. There we go. So that's when I would split personally. But again, each of their own. Do what you want to do. And that is your first chapter completed. Congratulations. Claps to you. Clap, 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 clap. You've got 2 more chapters ahead of you. But as always, please make sure that you do hydrate and you do look after yourself as well. And again, if you have felt uncomfortable at any point during this video guide or even through experiencing this game and you need somebody to talk to, there's many helplines out there. And again, the UK Samaritans is an amazing helpline and amazing charity as well. So please talk to somebody that will be there to listen to you. Now we're going into chapter 2. So again, these little help message bit here is another clear indication that you have done the next chapter. As I mentioned earlier on in the video, you can move after you've skipped the cutscene. You can get yourself closer to the door, but again, you are kind of like, I want to say limited, but you're not really limited, but you're more like, you can't really advance much anyway because you're waiting for your own dialogue to finish before the prompt for opening the door will become active. So I'll at least show it off, but you'll be able to see what I mean. So you're going to be spamming X through this, and then you're holding circle. I'll hold forwards at this point, and then X and circle, because you can see I'm close to the door. Sometimes getting closer towards the door will speed up the animation of you opening, the process of getting to the door and opening it. So I'd say it could be beneficial you getting closer to the door. But yeah, so you can see that it's grayed out at that point. Then you're going through the door. This room, you won't need to do anything in it this time. Just make yourself out towards basically the same initial steps that you're doing in chapter 1, which is getting to that wall art. This time you won't be able to see the wall art because you're going to be turning on a light to show you the disarray that's happened to basically what's happening in the building as you're going through chapter 2 anyway, that somebody's graffitied the lovely art from CB. So yeah, let's do that now. So we're going around the side here, getting towards into this bit. Here's the light, click X on it, and then make sure to press X as soon as the prompt comes up. You get like 2 lines of dialogue. Hold back and left and turn your camera around ready to head your way out. There we go. And then we're going to be taking a right out of here. Ooh, sometimes that bag can get in your way a little bit, so just be a little bit cautious of your movement around here as well. Taking a left into this room here. Now we're going to be pressing examine on the wall art here as well. Our phone is going to be magically recharged out of nowhere. There we go. So it does make us walk back a lot, so that you can't really control too much. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know if you can examine from a bit more of a distance, but you'll get pulled back into that little section here. When you come out of this section and you get your camera turned around to the back heads, I don't know the best movement myself personally, but just kind of head towards the open doorway that is going to be just there, as you just saw. Making your way to the right, turning around and heading out. Don't worry about looking at that little eye symbol there. That's just optional. You're going back through this way that you ignored earlier on in the run. And then you're going to be kind of meandering over to the right side of this. Getting ready for some more text or dialogue. Now, once again, after the text dialogue here, you're going to be having another voice line. After that voice line, then you're going to be holding skip. So I'm going to speed up through this text combo just before that dialogue will happen. So, speeding up time. Alright, so we should be skipping just after this. Now. There we go. Then hold forwards immediately. Like, even during the cutscenes happening, you can just hold forwards. Going into 207. And then I'm going to pause here to talk about, honestly, a new finding as I've been doing this video guide for you. This actually saves about, I would say maybe about like 10, 15 seconds at a time, honestly. So maybe even more because I haven't actually calculated it. But the most important thing about like this run is that you kind of hit the progression points of the run. Things that you examine that will progress you or like advance you into like the next section of the game, if it brings up the text, like the phone conversations, or the ability to go into a cutscene. So in this area here, there's like 4 items that you can examine, but you only need to worry about 2. One in the bathroom that's to your left, and one that's in the closet in the bedroom to the right. Let's do it, and let's show you. Once again, X and circle. Then a phone conversation will come up. Spam through that. Hold, let's say, 5 o'clock on your left stick, so you can make your way out of this bathroom and start making your way towards the bedroom pretty quickly afterwards. There we go. So you can see that we're trying to make our way out, heading towards the right, ignoring the boxes that's on the bed, and getting over towards this little news article here, X and circle, 180 degrees behind us, and making our way out. So it is a good little bit of time saved that even during this video guide. So I'm looking forward to doing some more runs very, very soon and getting hopefully a faster time, making our way left out of this room. Now keep it going straight here. You'll see that the lock will fall off this door, and then you're going to be brought over towards the like the school section of this run. Now the school section for the first part is very, very chill, very simple. I say chill, I mean it's not too much to do in the complexity of speedrunning, but heavy in its like actual like storytelling and, you know, the gameplay factor. Woof. School sucks anyway. Right. I mean, hey kids, go to school anyway, but yeah, school sucks anyway. So, fun little fact here, this shoe that's thrown at you, Somehow I was actually in front of that chute. I don't know how I was, and it actually pulled me, my camera, like, backwards 180 degrees to look at it, and it actually cost me time when I was practicing a run. Get over towards the Witch's Locker here, then hold circle. Just as, like, you kind of get locked into that, like, that camera placement, if that makes sense, which was, like, maybe a second, I was a second late for when I could have done it, but usually you'll know when you're in the right placement in order to skip. Getting through all of these apparitions of past bullies and stuff, then you're going to what I like to call the Forest Temple. If you know, you know, but I'm going to tell you anyway. If you played Ocarina of Time, you will absolutely know what I'm talking about. As you're going through this section here, you're going to see that, like, it's starting to get redder and redder, foggier and foggier, and you'll pass out towards the next chase segment, which I believe this is the third chase segment as well. So we've got 2 more afterwards. Here we go. Here's the pass out segment. Right. So before we get into this, like, as I mentioned, I'll try to be as informative as we can. This one in my notes isn't too detailed, but, like, for the most part, you'll see exactly what I'm doing. So you'll be able to rewind, you'll be able to, like, once again, as I mentioned, just before you go through, like, the door where the autosave is, you can exit out, you can replay it. You got the ability to retry as many times until you feel comfortable, and then you proceed into the next room. Right, here we go. So again, there come the glitches, and we're going to be going straight all the way down this bit towards this metal door, which is new to us. It's basically going to slow our speed down considerably. When we go up to this door to our right, don't go immediately into it. Go a little bit to the left and then go into the door. The reason for that is that, like, we want the CB lady to kind of follow where we were at the point of going into that door. And if you just move a little bit to the left, then it kind of thinks that you were more out of the door. You know, just thinks that you're more near to the door than you were before. It's hard to explain, but, like, just I'll try to explain my thoughts a little bit more after this, but I'll redo it again in a moment so you can see exactly the right direction we need to go. So, once you get towards this door, that is where we need to go, into here. Okay, so you've seen basically what that segment is. There's a lot going on, so we'll go over it a few times just to make sure that everybody's comfy. So, let me reissue my thoughts, because this is kind of like a big, like, one-shot recording as well, so sometimes I may stumble over my words. I mean, it's like just turned 8 AM in the morning, so it's very early, if you know what I mean. So, I've had it in a, like, prior run before where, like, I entered that door that was on the right after the metal don't run door, and the CB lady was there, like, immediately in front of me. That's because there was kind of like a big distance between where we would be met by CB lady, where they thought, like, oh, no, it's fine, like, you know, like, because I haven't seen you initially, there's got to be a point where, like, you know, the kind of the scary approach where they're going to come towards you or meet you on the other side of a door, that if there's, like, too far of a distance and you haven't seen them for a while, they'll just spawn in front of you, if you know what I mean. So it's kind of like trying to predict your movements and the kind of the generational patterns of the randomness that fits in line with your running styles and running patterns. So that's why I kind of, again, move a little bit to the left just before I go to the door, because within that time, I think the CB lady actually does peek around the corner a little bit, so it can't too quickly warp if it hasn't seen me. I hope that makes sense. Like, I mean, like I say, this is all just, like, you know, theories in my brain and stuff like that. So, for the most part, to try to keep a consistency and it working, every time I've done that, I've never had such an issue. So, yeah, I'd say, parlay the meme, trust me, bro, it does actually work for that one. So, let's do that again. Now that we've explained my thoughts and feelings behind that, now let's actually do it, and I can explain things more. So, once again, we're going through towards the don't run door, peeking a little bit to the left side of this door, and then going through it. There we go. So you can even hear the CB lady is coming through. Go left once again. Taking a bit of a left out of here, then taking an immediate right all the way through. Then taking a left through here, then keep it going straight, then taking a left, right, right, then a left, going through the door here, taking a right, into 212, taking a left, then taking another left all the way through, left, taking a right, through the middle door, and then you're going through to the right. Now I'm going to do it one more time without me commentating over it, so you can actually just visually take it in without me, you know, spouting words over you as well. So again, repetition is key if you want to get better at strats. So here we go. Let's do it one more time. And again, this will be a silent one. So here we go. And there we go, back into CB room. Alright, now that we've done that, from here we just need to get towards the art book. After, guess what? A lovely text message.
Not again. What did I do to deserve this?
That one scream, for some reason, I really like that that scream, like as a soundbite. It's like one of the best soundbites I think throughout the game, like as a single sort of like just a single sound. Right, get towards the art book, but you can't examine it immediately. You have to wait for your breathing to calm down, your adrenaline to fade, and then you'll be able to get to examine. Now from here, just right D-pad and X D-pad as quickly as you can, getting through this.
Looks familiar. They're hurt. Where are you going? Yeah, that's right.
And you're going to be skipping very, very soon. Just immediately after that last dialogue, and then you're going to be heading out and turning around. You don't need to click on that that bit, like that wall also over there. You don't need to worry about it. You just need to head through the door. Once you go through this door, you're going to be going in towards the library. Let's do it. Now, library here is extremely simple. You're going to be skipping a cutscene here in a moment after this dialogue here. Go. Holding forwards and then aiming towards the back corner of this room here. Clicking X rapidly now because then you can get towards the books sooner. Then you're going to be holding circle after this line here. There we go. Doing a 180 turn as soon as you gain control. And heading backwards. And then going back through the door that you just came through. Now, when we go through the door in a second, I'm going to give you kind of like a good indicator for when we need to skip. So, you see these grooves on the wall here. You see the very back ones, like the ones just before the door. That is where you're going to stop and then hold skip on. You'll kind of get a good indicator of when you're going from your walking motion into the stop. As soon as you stopped, hold the skip button. So let's do it. And go. You've got yet another phone conversation that's going to be appearing, so make sure again that you keep on spamming the X in a circle. From here you can actually just hold forwards, because as soon as you come out of this this text conversation, you will have movement instantaneously. So make sure you're holding forwards as you're going through this, and you'll be good to go. What is next? You're going to be going back into the school from this point. Now, when you go through the first playthrough, normally you have to look at the desk. It's got like the word liar. Each letter is coloured, and then you look around the room. You can find the number. It's got a colour. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. It's chill. The number is always going to be the same. It is 0312. So once you get towards the locker, don't spam X too much on it repeatedly. Get ready to use your numpad. So before I go to here, you can literally press X on it immediately, like you can walk over to it. When the numpad and you see the yellow icon appear on the left hand side, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be using only right and up on the D-pads. So you're going to be pressing right, up, 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 right, up, right, up, up. So 0, 3, 1, 2. Right. Let's do it then. So let me show you.
My locker. Why is it locked? Is there something I don't want to
So I'm not pressing anything right now. Much like that. So you can do a little bit faster than here. So we can go something like this. Damn. But you know, you can see what I mean. Like you can input this quite fast if you are more comfortable. So now I feel like I might be on a very tiny bit of latency again. Like console capture, like, you know, gaming consoles can be a little bit slow. So here we go. There we go. So that's as quickly as you can do it sometimes. I'm sure you can do it faster, but there we go. It's presentation. Now when you get pulled into this view, just spam X for a while, because we've got a lot of conversation, a lot of dialogue happening. So here's where you can take things very, very chill. So here we go, for example.
Cherry blossom. To be beautiful and dignified for a fleeting moment.
So this, at this moment of time of the run, you cannot skip. I know, Joy, you've got about like 2 to 3 minutes of just spoken conversation, and you have to listen to it. The only things you need to do for this right now is just like, you can press X or right on the D-pads to get to the next page. When you get towards the third page, you are you're going to be pressing the circle button in order to close the page. There is another dialogue afterwards, and then you'll be skipping, and then you'll be holding back and left to head towards the door that is to our left, basically. Here we go. So I'm constantly pressing the right mouse button.
They took him away.
There we go. Now this is the last page of this spoken conversation. So again, get ready to start spamming the circle button. This one here, I feel like even with lesser characters, it does take a little bit longer for it to come through, because this is where like more emotion from the voice actor is going to come through from this letter that's been written to Amelie.
I can't take much more of this.
Here we go. You can hear the emotions coming through.
I wish you and I could run away together.
Now, obviously, Maya won't say their own name, Maya, so it'll be happening just now. So get ready to press the close button.
Maya. She was asking Amelie for help.
And after this one here. There we go. Hold skip. On we go towards the It's All Your Fault door, which will be the 4th chase segment. Right. Let's talk about this one. So this is the one where, like, I initially was doing a bit of a longer strat on it, because I just wanted to get through it. I didn't really know too much about like this bit here. I was focusing more on the 5th chase segment rather than the 4th. At the point of recording this video guide, I feel like this is the fastest one, purely for the sake of that you have to initially trigger CB Lady to come through first, so that you can get through the door that you first trigger her out from, if that makes sense. I don't know if there's any other way around it, but again, if you do know, please feel free to DM me, or please feel free to join the speedrun, the Silent Hill speedrunning server, and post your findings. Again, we welcome you in. Please show us your findings. We'd love to bring this run down even further. Right. Let's do this run. So again, I'm going to try to talk over it a little bit. I'm going to try to do it a few more times of silence, so you can get yourself comfy with it. Let's do it. So as soon as you get through the door, you're going to be heading all the way down to the end, taking a left, and again all the way down to the end. But as soon as you see the door starting to open, 180 degrees turn, now like that, and then you're going to be heading to the door that's now going to be on your right. From here, what I do personally is I wait for a second so that we can see CB Ladens coming through, and then we know that they're going to be heading around this little roundabout section here. Then going out the door that we just came through again, Now going through the 212 door that the CB lady was kind of blocking us from. Making our way to the right. And we've got one more section coming up in a moment where we've got to do yet another roundabout. So again, we're going to be taking a right through that little section here, left, yet another left, and right, right, left. Now, as soon as we open this door, CB Lady's going to be greeting us again, so let's take another turn. Now we're taking a left here. Make sure you take left, left, left. If you go around right, it'll be tougher for CB Lady, so CB Lady can catch up to you a little bit easier, and it's easier for you to die, so make sure you take the left at that point. Go through 2 metal doors, and then you're back into this to the art room of CB's. Actually, no, I lied. Sorry, not CB's room. Towards the stairs. That's the end of the chapter. My God, I'm getting ahead of myself here. So there we go. That would be the point of where the next chapter would end. So you would have done chapter 2 at that point, and good going. So once again, we're going to be doing another few 4th chase segments with no talking. So again, make sure you take it all in, get yourself comfy. Don't forget, don't go up the stairs, otherwise it will trigger the transition cutscene towards where you will not get a chance really to reset. So all right, let's do a couple more runs, and then we'll go into chapter 3, which will be where it has the hardest chase segment, and I'll go a little bit more into conversation about it. Right, here we go. Also, before I do that, let me just have a quick hydration break. Okay, let's do this. And there we go. There we go. Right. Once again, we're going to do one more time just for comfort's sakes, so that you lot can be comfy, you lot can see exactly the kind of motions and the movements that I do. If you saw another one, actually, I'll be able to talk about how I felt that section went. You saw that I didn't wait as long for the initial, the initial roundabout, the first roundabout bit. I actually, as soon as I saw the instance of them kind of turning to our right, that's when I left. It's because, that's their kind of realization, or their AI of where they're going through. They're just okay, I'm definitely going around this way. They had made up their mind. So kind of gives you a bit of a good timing essence of, hey, when should I start running and going around and dodging? So yeah, hopefully this is helpful to you lot. To be fair, it's actually helpful for me, so it will help me for my next run. So let's do it. All right, here we go. And I'll make sure to call out split timing again when we get up the stairs. Oh. Oh my god, that actually scared the living daylights out of me. So, that's a first time that's happened. Okie dokie. And you know what I was thinking is that I was making very tight corners around that last segment. And it needed me to be a little bit more over to the left just so that I could actually pull itself over to the left. Again,
I'm sorry.
it's important that we show you this, that, you know, sometimes it's not always like, you know, whistles and rainbows. It's sometimes they can bite you in the butt. So I like, as a kind of like a, let's talk about what happened there. I think meander just a little bit over to the left, just so that you can hang over that left side a bit more, so that CV lady can drag itself that way. If you take too tight of corners, it's kind of like treating itself as in the middle, like of where it should be walking, and then it just decides to go to the, like, you know what I think it did actually, is that it went a little bit to the left, but then it decided to return itself back around, so it hadn't fully decided to go left. Again, we're still like, you know, like there's still not like full declarations and understandings of how, you know, the autonomy of CB Lady works. This is all by assumption at the moment. So, regardless, still good for you to see. Hopefully you didn't get jump scared. If you did, then you joined the crew here anyway. Because I was not expecting that one. Okay, here we go. Good. It's not every day that the person making a video guide get jump scared, so glad that's happened for me today anyway. Alright, so let's test the theory that we mentioned about kind of like not taking too tight corners here. I'll also wait a second just before turning. So here we go. Yeah, so you see that we automatically got it. There we go. So, if anybody can, like, you know, figure out the exact kind of motions of CB Lady, do let me know, because at least that's kind of like what we can see from findings. Right, and again, as soon as it starts to go into the black transition, that's when you can split. And again, for me personally, what I do is the next skip here is I will go split. That's where I'll do it. Okay, that is the end of chapter 2. So, congratulations once again. From the point of chapter 3, once, as we mentioned beforehand, this is where it will actually benefit you to actually move during the point of the phone being pulled up, so that you can get towards the door, because it is a bit of a further distance than it has been for chapter 1 and 2. For the first section here, we just need to go all the way down and around towards the apartment. So, you'll get to see what I mean in a moment. So again, click X on here, get ready to press the skip button about now. Hold upwards and head towards the door. Get ready to skip through the X in a circle. And making our way through. So again, as you're like doing the phone conversation, you can just keep on holding forwards. Like most of the time, if you're definitely going forwards when you're like bringing down the phone, just keep on holding the left stick forwards, because again, it can't hurt. It really cannot hurt. Yeah, like don't get distracted by the doors on the sides for chapter 3. You're making this big round loop. Well, that's a big round pipe in my face. A big round loop over to that apartment over here. Now, before we get into the apartment, I will quickly make a brief aforemention before we do anything. So here we go. Let's just pause here. When you get into the second part of the apartment, I actually managed to experience a soft lock. And the soft lock that I experienced was, if I had got to a point of when the door's handle was opening, and and the door was trying to open whilst I was pressing X in it constantly, the door got confused, and it just shut itself rather than opening. The door, in that point of door opening, that's the only other time that the door would open. So I could not open it, because, you know, it's after you've like clicked on both of the pizza box and the letter on the table. That's the only other time it will open. So wait for the doors to open in this room. You can keep on walking into it, just try not to press X onto any of the doors in the apartments. Big no-no. Okay. So let's do it. Into the apartment we go. Kind of head around just here to get in within a view so you can examine this book.
This is our living room.
X circle, turn around. Then you're going to go through this door. You're going to press R3 on the pizza box. When you go around here, done. Do it quickly enough so you can get towards the book so that you can then X the circle on it as quickly as you can. Look on the floor, R3. Got to do around there. You can't do it through the door. Then it's going to be the notebook on the table. Through the next door, then we got the book on top of the pizza box. Then click on the refrigerator. You can do it from any distance. Then it's going to be the letter on the bed. Turning around 180. Then heading towards the newspaper on the floor. It's going to be X circle, wait for a short second, then hold circle from that point when you can see the camera pull. Then you're going to hold left on the controller. Actually, no, you're not going to hold left on the controller. You're going to hold forwards and then go around. Just because there's been times when I've been a little bit confused about where I'm going from here. I'm just like, wait, I'm like stuck here. That's because like you're just a bit here where you would actually go behind the door. So again, you want to go a little bit like that as you're going through. Taking another left. And then you get towards the final and the fifth check, like the run sequence. So, let's talk about this. Again, huge shout out to Vintage Valiant, who, again, came up with the first kind of like real routing video for this chase segment. At the point of when I was making my speedruns, I had not seen that video, so I actually made a personal comparison video to find out which of the point of my own speedruns in comparison to their their routing video, which was faster. Ultimately, my video did come out as faster, but the initial starting of their video was absolutely faster. Like, it saved a great amount of time. So we incorporated that into this chase segment that you're going to be seeing. But I am going to be doing a few different presentations for the purpose of Vintage Valiant. At the point of recording, they did a IL. An IL stands for an individual level if you're new to speedrunning. So you're just doing one level and that's it. In their run, they get to show off what I'm going to be considering the fastest strat. When you get towards the fifth photo, there is like a little bit of like a... Sorry if I'm umming and ahhing a lot at the moment. I just noticed that. There's going to be like a kind of a... it's sort of like a curve in towards the locker area. And that's going to be like the fastest way that you can get towards that 209 roomed section. Every time that I've been doing on my end during this form of like, the editing and recording, I've always been encountered by the CB lady. So I'm not sure why that is, but there is the chance that that pattern specifically may not be as adequate as, if you're trying to go for world record runs, that could potentially come to bite you in the buttocks. So what I'm going to show you is kind of like the optimal route and what would be the fastest route. So if I don't get it, then I can show you why, okay? So let's do this then. So I'll kind of talk over it as much as I can, and then we'll do a few runs of actually, a silent run so you can get yourself acquainted with it. Let's do it. When you click on the door, you're going to be taking a 180 turn. So let's do that now. 180 turn, then you're going to be heading through past the sofas, through towards the left, taking a right, taking a left. Just on top of that chest of drawers is going to be your first photo to pick up. So press X on it rapidly.
I really like what you
Holding left as you're going through, heading through this little doorway here, taking a right. Then on this, I forget what they're called. It's going to be the next photo. Taking a 180 spin back, going through the blue door, taking a left, taking a right onto your first door. Taking a right through here, right. Then you're going left. Third photo is here. Taking a left, sharp right. Oop, there we go. Going straight through here. Taking a right out here, then going sharp left, sharp right. Going left here. Here's your fourth photo. Now,
What's that?
here's the point where you can take two routes.
You like what you see?
Optimal routes, you're taking a right here, but this is the way that you go for the fastest run. So let's see if the fastest run will actually benefit us and work for us this time, shall we? And it will. Okay, so this is a presentation of it working absolutely 100% for us. You get the fifth photo, you keep on running, and then you're making your way through what would be the 209 door towards CB's art room. So this is the first time during my actual video guide recording that I had got it to showcase and to present to you. That's easy clap, let's go. But yeah, as you can see that we're just constantly taking like the intended route all the way back. You get to see this kind of like this blue lit lighting, and there is CB's room. There we go. So, thank you RNG for not biting me in the butt. I don't know what I did this time that actually made it beneficial, but you know what? I am not complaining. You guys got to see what I think, like I say, without calculating, without timing it, what I think is the fastest route possible. Right. Now, let's try it again and see what happens if the RNG doesn't play well. If it doesn't play well, it doesn't play well. But just know that like that little corner where like you heard me getting a little bit distressed and a little bit like uncertain, that is where I've died quite a few times. In fact, instead of like actually doing a completely new similar one, why don't I just show... Actually, no, I didn't. I deleted recordings. Don't worry, let's try it again. I just realized I tried to make space for my hard drive, so I actually deleted my my past recordings of fails, so it's fine. Let's just do it again. Once again, first photo.
I really like what you drew me way back.
Suitcase, that's the word. Thank you, Nico. Right, here we go, second one.
You're into art, right? You could audit an art class.
Taking a left, then the door on the right, that's 203. Right.
You're way too hard on yourself.
Then sharp right. If it's easy for you, take a right then a left, like immediately. Right, left, right. Left.
What's that?
Okay, let's see how the RNG favors for us this time. Now, I did notice as we were going through towards the end, just like now, you could hear that little silence on the phone, but we can see the static is kind of like flaring up a little bit now, so let's see what happens. No, so again, the RNG has been extremely kind to us, but once, like as I've mentioned, it has been occasionally unfair in me. It's been occasionally unfair. So, anyway, now that you've seen that the fastest routes is achievable, but it is on the sort of like that 50-50 split, just know that you know, it might not always go your way. Sometimes it could be even like a close game that could work out, or you know, maybe it's just luck is not on your side. But we're going to show you what is the optimal route for if you do not want to have any kind of stresses. Right? Let's do it. So I'll kind of speak up a little bit once we get to the point where it is the optimal strats.
I really like what you drew me way back. You're into
There we
art,
go,
right?
second one.
You could audit an art class.
203. Right.
You're way too hard on yourself.
Sharp right, sharp left, sharp left, sharp right, sharp left, sharp right. To the left. Right, here we go. This is where we're going to be doing the optimal strat, so do pay attention now. Once you've got the full photo, we're going to be going past the door that we just came through to the door that's on the right. I think you can go to the further door that's down on the right side, but I decided to go here because it is like, again, manipulation of Stevie Lady and all this sort of stuff as well. I just think it's safer to do it this way. Anyway, now you can see that we're back in that same kind of like that big long stretch of hallway that is 209. Just head yourself all the way towards the 5th photo, keep on running, and then head your way back. So from the point of this, we will now go in towards Stevie's room, and we will conclude the final section of this run. It's only going to be about like maybe a minute left or so, so it's a very final conclusion basically. And again, as I mentioned, this is the split where you have to be very discreet and very explicit with your end timer. So here we go. When you come out to this little bit here where you're breathing and panting, there's going to be a newsletter that's going to be just on this little table here. This is the one you need to pick up. So click X in it, circle. The art book is going to fall over to your left. So once your camera gets pulled over to it, over to it, then start to press X in it. Then write an X so you can go through the pages quicker. Then it's going to be. Then she's going to say, when did she draw this? Then you get ready to skip by holding circle, okay?
Just let me die.
Again, I'll point it out when it comes to the relevant voice line. Here we go.
Is this me? When did she draw this?
So you heard that. When did she draw this? Then you're going to be turning around immediately, heading out through the door. This kind of like final like lit, like very dark but single spotlighted bits is like, you know, where it's going to be final. Now this is a new one for me. I'm going to try to hit on this side. There we go. I think that's going to be a little bit safer to do if you go on the left hand side rather than the right, because you can bonk easier. Then you got two more after this one, I think it is. You're then going to wait for the candles to appear in front of you, then you can get your movement back. And then you'll see the staircase. As soon as it goes towards that transition of the black fading, that is when you split. So I'll call it exactly when you split. Okay. And now. That is when you split, and that is time. That is time. That is the end of the speedrun for Silent Hill, the short message. Congratulations, you have just learned a speedrun. It's as easy as that. Now, as I mentioned earlier on, my current personal best time, personal best timing as of recording this is a 28:23. So there is time to beat, there is time to gain, there's more opportunities for this run to be broken wide open. I don't think we found any glitches as well at the same time, so we're still at a point where this run is extremely fresh and extremely new. So if you do manage to find anything that is that could be a time save or cool strats or, like, you know, good movement tech, whatever it is, again, feel free to DM me. Feel free to come into my Twitch chat, say like, hey, I found something. Honestly, if you say you found something, I would honestly deter the stream, be like, I want to try this now. I want to try this. Do join us on the Silent Hill speedruns, which you can find by going to speedrun.com. I think it's /sh, and go towards the lost message. You know, I can say the link for you shortly. Let's see. So the direct speedrun.com link to the Silent Hill, the short message is speedrun.com/SHTSM, and that is all in capital letters, so capital S, capital H, capital T, capital S, and capital M. And if you go onto the page, you'll be able to see that there is a little Discord icon, and from there you can join the collective of all the Silent Hill speedruns and chat with like anybody from like Silent Hill 1 to 4 to Origins to Homecoming, Shattered Memories, Downpour, Short Message, and some of the spin-offs as well. Aside from that, if you do have any questions, please feel free to leave it in the comments. I'll be happy to provide you with any other insights or any other information that you do need to know. And again, thank you very, very much for watching. Again, thank you to Boards for Speedruns, Punchy for moderating the boards, to Valiant, well, yeah, it's a vintage Valiant for helping, for assisting in the initial finding of some good routing for the final chase segment. And yeah, thank you very much for watching as well. And again, if you did enjoy this video, do feel free to subscribe to the channel. There will be a few more short message speedruns coming when I do get some more personal bests. More speedruns of different games coming up in future as well. I do stream on twitch.tv/Nikoheart, where I do a variety of games, playing games on unconventional controllers, which I may end up doing for Silent Hill: The Short Message. For example, if you did not know, I've managed to play Final Fantasy 16, which is a PS5 game with a DSLR camera controller. For example, I actually turned the DSLR into a game controller, ported it from the PC through remote play into the PS5, ergo, weird controller on a PS5. So, I might try and find a weird controller to play the short message with as a meme run, so more cool content to come. So thank you again so much for watching, and don't forget to leave a thumbs up as well. Let me know if you benefited or enjoyed this this video guide, and thank you again. I'll see you lots in the next upload in the next video. Take it easy, everybody. Bye bye.